Hello guys, here welcome back to the channel. So on today's tutorial we are just going to continue from where we start. In my previous video we have drafted and cut the pattern of this corset. So here I already add my S-day to all the fabrics that I cut, including the lining. I had my S-day to it to give it enough strength and structure. Okay, so I did the same thing on the cup pattern as well, both the fabric and the lining. Okay, so the next thing I want to do now, we'll start from the front bodies. Okay, and what I'm going to do is to pick one of the patterns, each of the patterns, and arrange it just like you see me doing. Okay, make sure you use your pattern paper to cross check so that you don't mix your pattern up. Okay guys, so this is what we have, and remember I said we need to notch the bust point area, so you can simply use a pin to hold the patterns together like this, so you know where exactly you want to stitch together. Okay, so after which you have done that, now you pick the third one, that is the upper pattern, and you stitch it. Okay, so I'm just going to take this to the sewing machine and I'm going to stitch it down, both the fabric and the lining. Okay, so just like the way I'm placing it together like this, you place it as well. So guys, as for the front bodies, you are going to be joining the other parts this way, and these parts, after joining it, you are going to create a bone channel there. Okay, so just flip it to the other side this way and hold it with a pin. That is, you're going to be running a stitch on the allowance you added. Make sure you add the exact allowance you added when you are drafting your pattern. So guys, as for the bone channel, I'm going to be making use of another Ankara fabric, and you can create as many bone channel as you like. Okay, you can create sidewards, and inside that bone channel you're going to insert your boning. Okay, so then the next thing is the lining. The way you arrange the main fabric, you're going to arrange the lining as well, but there will be no bone channel on the lining. So guys, as for the back pattern, you're going to join the back pattern together as well. I have my lining and I have the fabric already. So what you're going to do is to join the place that we cut at our dart, and this area is going to be the zipper allowance. And after which you are joining it, you can create a bone channel there as well. This depends on how much boning you want on your top. So guys, I already joined everything together. This is my lining, this is the cup, and I open press it just like you see it. I open press it with my breast ham or bust ham or tailor's ham or whatever you call it. Okay, it makes it easier for you to press your cuff area and your cups. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is to create my bone channel first before joining the cup. The way I join my fabric, I join the lining same way as well, just like I said before, both the front and the back pattern. Okay, so guys, the next thing I want to do is to cut a strip of fabric with this other material that I use for the cup. Okay, and I'll be cutting 1.5 inches wide that I'll be using to create the bone channel. Okay, so the bone channel is simply the parts that you are going to impute your boning when you are making a corset. Okay, so you're just going to cut a strip of fabric. You can apply it at the back as well, as many bone channel you want. This just helps the top to have a firmness, a kind of firmness. Okay, so guys, the kind of finishing we'll be doing for this top is called a total or inseam finishing. Okay, and to do this method, I'll be placing the back pattern on the right pattern just like you see me doing, and I'm going to stitch it down with my sewing allowance. Okay, and we are just going to have just a single opening. Okay, I'm going to do it for the lining and the fabric separately, but before that you will have to join your cup to your bodies. Okay, just like the way I place it, you will join the lining separately and you will join the fabric, the main fabric, you will join it separately. Just place the back pattern on it after joining the cup just like you see me doing, and you stitch down your added seam allowance. Make sure your seam allowance you are going to add, or you are going to sew rather, is accurate, because by the time you do the finishing, if you want to adjust it, you have to lose all the top or lose some parts of the top entirely. So you have to be accurate when you are doing this kind of finishing. Okay, it actually give a neat finishing. Okay, so just make sure you sew your added seam allowance. Okay, so now we want to create the homemade bra cup. Okay, just like you have your cup here, you are going to use your pattern to create the homemade bra cup. So you will need your pattern, hip pad, or they call it breast pad or whatever, or breast foam. You just get it, and this is what we are going to be making use of. You place your pattern on it this way, then you cut it out without seam allowance. I hope you get my explanation. You're going to cut it out without any seam allowance like this for all the pattern sets. You are going to be cutting 2 for each of the patterns, just like you did for your main fabric and your lining. Okay, so guys, thanks for watching this video up to this moment. Kindly give this video a thumbs up, click on the subscribe button if you are yet to subscribe, turn on the notification bell so that whenever I drop a new video you will be notified, and please share this video so that we can reach as many people as possible. Okay, and drop your comments, your thoughts in the comment section. I don't mind, I'll surely welcome them. So guys, after which I've done all this, we are going to be taking it to our sewing machine and we're going to be joining it together. Okay, so all my pattern sets are ready. So guys, the first method now, I'm going to be using a zigzag stitch. For those that has a machine that can do a zigzag stitch, so make sure your pattern is very close to each other like this. You will do the 2 and 3 pattern together. I mean the parts with label 2 and 3. Make sure you stitch it with your zigzag stitch. Okay, it make it more easier, and this is what it's going to look like after which you have stitched it together. So the next thing is to place this other pattern on it this way, and you're going to place it very close to each other. Then you are going to run your stitch all through from the beginning to the end. Okay, make sure that you don't leave any part open. Okay, so that is the first method. So the second method we are going to be using with a manual machine. Okay, so by the time you are done, this is what it's going to look like, as you can see. So guys, that will be all for the first method. As you can see, the cup is standing firmly. So now let's just go to the manual machine and let me show us the second method. So as for we that we have a manual machine, we can simply make use of it, but make sure that you confirm your pattern once again. Okay, then after that, you place your patterns together, starting from the number 2 and 3. You place it and you sew on a very tiny stitch. Okay, a very tiny stitch like that. Okay, after that, now you will now place the third one, that is the upper pattern. You place it on it. As you can see, this is a very tiny stitch, and this is how it's going to look like. So place it on it this way, and you are going to run a stitch on it again, a stitch very tiny, lesser than 0.25 if possible, at least 0.25, but make sure the allowance you sew is not that much. Remember, we did not add any sewing allowance. Okay, so guys, that's how you are just going to repeat the same process and sew it on a very tiny stitch for the upper part pattern as well. So guys, that will be all for the second method. I just hope you find it useful so you can make use of any method you like. So now let's just fix the cup inside our pattern. So this is how you are going to fix it inside your pattern. Okay, and what I have left is just the 0.5 seam allowance that I'll use to sew it to the bodice. Okay, so just what you would do. The next thing you want to do is to hold it down. Either use your fabric glue or you use thread and needle. Okay, so you're just going to be tacking it to the seam allowance, not the main cup. Okay, this seam allowance you have here, you're going to be tacking it down with your thread and needle, just like you see me doing. So you tack on these 3 points. Okay, you tack here and the other side as well, just like you see me doing. Okay, so just go ahead and do the same thing. So you tack here, here and here, these 3 points, and you repeat the same process on the second cup as well. Okay, so after tacking it down, we are going to fix it on our bodice like this. So using this method, you will even see that there is no space or any allowance at the cup area. So guys, I already joined it to the bodice, and this is what I have, just like I did for the lining. Okay, and I already run my bone channels, and what we are going to do now is to fix our strap. Okay, so to fix the strap, we are going to be cutting a strap of about 14 to 15 inches long. You can simply use your yoke and as you can see, guide. So you place it on it this way. So from the side, you can simply measure to get the center, or you determine where you want the strap to be. Then you place it on it this way. Make sure that the rest of the strap is falling on your fabric. Okay, then you are going to flip the remaining to the back this way and hold it down with the pin. So you do the same thing on the other cup and the other side as well. Okay, simply measure whatever you have on one cup, then you mark it on the other cup as well. I just hope you understand my point. So after doing this, you're going to be placing the lining on it this way. Okay, then you're going to run your stitch from the zipper allowance area all through the upper parts, and the only opening we have left is this lower part, in which we are going to be turning it with a fabric later. Okay, so I'll just do that now and show us how it looks like. So guys, after joining, this is what I have. Okay, so I have turned it and I top stitch as well. The only opening I have left is just this lower part. Okay, I'm just going to be turning the lower part, then I'll be fixing a zipper at the back. But before we do that, we are going to be inserting our boning into the bone channels that we created. Okay, and make sure you leave about 0.5 inches allowance. So you make your boning shorter by 0.5 inches so that it will be easier for you to turn the lower part. So you are going to insert the boning into all the bones channels that you created on your top. As many bone channels you can create, both front and back. Okay, if you are making use of a regulating boning or sewable boning, make sure you secure the edges that you cut either with a fabric or a paper tape. Okay, you can just cut a little bit of fabric and sew it on the edges, then you insert in all your bonings, both front and back. Okay, so I'll just do that now. Then I'm going to turn the lower side with my fabric. Okay, so to do that, you are going to be cutting a fabric of about 2 inches wide, and it's going to be as long as how your top is. So you are going to be starting the sewing from the back, then you are going to turn it back to the front. Okay, just like the way we used to fix our band, but this time around it's going to be more tiny. You're going to run the stitch from the wrong side of the fabric, then you are turning it back to the right side of the fabric. So just insert your boning just like you see me doing. Okay, and make sure the length of your boning is shorter by 0.5 or 0.75. okay, because if your boning should get into your seam allowance, it's going to be very difficult for you to turn that part, except if you are making use of a sewable boning. Even as at that, you still need to remove it. So guys, I'll just turn the lower part. So now this is what we have at the end, and this is really looking good. Okay, so after this, now what I'll do is to fix my zipper, and as you can see, the inside is really neat and I really love the outcome. So if you follow all the due processes, you are going to have this exact beautiful result. Okay, so guys, just go ahead and make yours, and please tag me whenever you make your top with this tutorial. I'll be glad to have them. Okay, so I'm going to be fixing my zipper to the back now. Okay, so this zipper is kind of long, but I'm going to be starting from the lower part. Make sure you get a zipper that can open up at the end so that it will be easier for you whenever you want to put your top on. Okay, so I'm just going to be cutting off the excess. Okay, so guys, I'm just going to fix the zipper now, and we are done with this top. So thank you very much for watching this tutorial up to this moment. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, give it a thumbs up, drop your comments in the comment section, and see you in my next video. Okay, but before then, I'll just finish up with this and show us how exactly it's going to look like. Okay, so guys, this is what I have at the end. Okay, this is the back. I already fixed my zipper, and as you can see, okay, so go ahead and do the same thing, and you can fix a loop if you like. Okay, and this is the front part. Okay, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate. Do not forget to like and share this video. Okay, you can see the inside. It's really sweet. Okay guys, till next time that we'll meet in my next video. Bye bye and take care of yourself.